Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here on Cobbler's Logs, where we're back with our third opposition view. It's our second one previewing a Saturday game. They've been going well. The first two we've done, well, I say they've gone well. My internet's crashed and I was kicked out the stream both times. So let's hope the third time lucky. I'm on my phone rather than my laptop this time, so hopefully that should be a bit lucky. Hello to Jake Tong. Hello to George NTFC. I can see in the chat as well. We've also got Luke NTFC, Into Swindon are here, Lucy Mayfair's here. Hello, Jason Rodhouse, Adam Page. Wonderful. Great to have all the regular viewers with us. I'm joined today by Ben, who is a Swindon fan. Hope you're okay, Ben. How are you? How are you coping during lockdown? Are you keeping yourself busy?
Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks, Matt. Yeah, just getting busy and getting by as you do. But yeah, great. Thanks for having me on. It's been good.
Yeah, no worries, mate. It's good to have you on. And the other thing that we noticed on Monday was obviously the Prime Minister made his announcement about kind of our roadmap out of lockdown, and included in that was obviously the return of fans to stadiums. Did you get a chance to go and watch Swindon when the kind of tiers were in place, and how much are you looking forward to going and seeing them again?
No, I actually live in Stratford upon Avon, who were tier 3 when 2 tiers were allowed in. So I couldn't go anyway, but I've got medication lowers my immune system, so I've been stuck indoors anyway. It's been a long year, so no, I've not been able to go, I'm afraid. But yeah, I'm buzzing for pre-season.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait for starting away in the pub.
That's it. Yeah, you see these pictures on Twitter, your pre-season matches, and you see it's going to be like these sort of European occasions with flares in the stands, and it's just going to be like pre-season friendly. So it's going to be crazy. But yeah, I'm sure we all and everyone in the chat will probably agree that we all can't wait to get back. But looking ahead to Saturday's game, before we look at the game in particular, I just want to talk about Swindon's season so far. Yeah. Obviously, you came up with us last season. We had the bit of the battle over who had the proper ginger Pele, whether it was you with Owen Doyle, wasn't it, or if it was us with Cal Morton. But we won't get into that today because both of them have left and they're doing better away from us. Well, apart from Owen Doyle's maybe in League Two, but he's doing all right. Anyway, on to Swindon. Just talk us through how your season's been in general. We'll go into sort of specific details in a minute, but how have you adapted to life in League One?
Yeah, badly. Our problems stem a lot off field, boardroom level, really, which has caused the decline on field. Obviously, we're limited for time, so I can't go in great detail what's happened, but we've got a chairman who's largely disinterested. He wants to sell the club, but there's court injunctions preventing him from selling the club, which has stuck the club in a limbo state, which has limited our budget for this season, which has caused a few of our better players to leave and our manager to walk out on us, and left us in a bit of a horrible way. In a nutshell, that's pretty much why we are where we are.
Yeah, not great. I see Crew are probably the best, the team that are doing the best out of the teams that have come up this season. Looking at some of your recent form, before we get on to that, we've got Jake, who I'm sure you know as well. He said he's the best. We're the best two guests he's had on the Stacey West podcast, and it's the club he's been dreaming of. So thank you for that, Jake. Lovely stuff. And I see you laughed out. I see Jake also commented earlier. Let's have that famous laugh back. So there you go, Jake. You've got it as well.
Oh, bless him. Love you, Jake.
Wonderful. We love Jake. Cool. So you have had some pretty good results this season. What we've kind of been saying is, last year when the Cobblers were in League Two, certainly we struggled against the teams around the bottom, but we seem to perform well against the teams at the top. At the minute, we're struggling against the teams at the bottom and struggling against the teams at the top. But I've seen you've had some pretty impressive results. Just looking through, you've beaten Hull, you beat Oxford, you drew to Charlton, beat Ipswich as well, who are, despite them being in the table, they're still not a bad team. And you obviously got a draw with Jake's Lincoln last time out. So how have they come about?
Yeah, isolated performances. We've actually, the players we've got are all right. They're good. They're good enough to stay up and good enough to stay up pretty, quite comfortably, despite our owner selling a lot of our best assets and getting rid of them. So in isolated performances, we've done all right in some games. But we've got a manager who, until Tuesday, has been largely defensive and bit of a dinosaur, but the performances have been disjointed. We've been letting in silly goals, and we've just been playing below par. And it's just the standard we've got used to. And it's when you get yourself in a rut and you can't break out of it. And winning's a habit, but so is losing. We've lost more than anyone this season. I think in all the leagues. So when it has clicked and we have done well, we've performed well. You know, we've got a point up at Charlton. We've beat Ipswich. Tuesday night was fantastic. That was probably one of the best performances we've had since the Ipswich and under Sheridan, and it was completely unexpected because we beat Crewe playing badly. We just about hang on and sucker punched them at the end. Lincoln, we managed 15 shots on goal, and this is against top of the league. And players clicked. He actually was a little bit more adventurous the way we played. I didn't expect that at all. I expected us to try and hold on. We didn't do that. We gave it a good go, probably because it's a game that we were expected to get nothing on, so we might as well give them a crack anyway, and it came off. So I'm hoping we take that into Saturday. However, that's the first time this season we've strung 2 results together. This is our best run, and it's 2 games, and that's our best run this season. So it's been pockets of isolated performances among a lot of turgid rubbish, and I would use stronger words. But it's been like that this season. It's been pretty horrible to watch with an uninspiring manager.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned you've kind of been very up and down. Sometimes it's either clicked or it's really not clicked, and I think that was kind of evident in the reverse fixture when you came to our place. We obviously went 2-0 up, and I remember you guys. You know, I'm sure you won't mind me saying, and probably agree, but you were dreadful in the first half.
Yeah,
and you know, we went 2-0 up in half an hour, something like that, and you made it a bit nervy at the end. But I just remember I was like, we've kind of had the attitude, or I certainly have had the attitude of, if there's 4 teams worse than us, if we come up against 4 teams that are worse than us, we'll stay in the league. Swindon were one of them, Burton were one of them, Wigan were the other one, and then it's kind of between, I think, us, probably now yourselves, Rochdale, AFC, Wimbledon, all of those for that final place. But the reverse fixture, you're obviously terrible. Is that kind of how it's been for most of the season then?
Yeah, pretty much. What you saw was towards the sort of semi-back end of Richie Wellens. We were still playing Wellens ball. We were still playing good counter-attacking football. We just defended horribly. We had possibly the worst goalkeeper in the Football League in goal at the time. It was awful. I mean, he was terrible. Kovar. We were trying to get... we had that... Who's that? Was it Bentley? The keeper, anyway, that order shot. We had him training with us, but Chelsea upped their price at the last minute, so he didn't go. So we picked up Kovar, and he was rubbish. We had a lot of players injured when we played you guys as well, which didn't help. We did click, but it was way too late. The game was gone by then. You know, we were hanging on a bit at the end, and we could have equalised, but it was just one of them. It was just it was the defeat. It was actually your defeat when I thought we're in trouble this season, and let's be right. But you're right. It's between 4 or 7 to go down. Any one of those 4 or 7. I thought Burton were gone, but they've recruited really well in January, and I think they probably will do the Great Escape. Then I thought Wigan were gone, but they've picked up recently, and they did a good performance against Lincoln, and then they turned it on as well, and they won the other day, Bristol Rovers, who I thought were going to go as well, but then they've employed a very good manager, and I think he will sort them out and probably will pull them out of danger because they've got some good players. So it's one of them, really. It's tight at the bottom, really tight, and I think it's going to be like this for the remainder of the season, where each team will probably put on 2 or 3 results together and then go on a bit of a poor run, and I think we're just going to be slogging it out, which makes tomorrow even more important for both of us, because I think psychologically, whoever loses, it's going to be a massive kick in the knackers.
Yeah, it's a difficult one for us because we saw everybody picking up results, and we're kind of like, if we're now worrying that other people are picking up results and we're not, then that's kind of a sign that things might not go so well for us. I just want to touch one more time quickly on the reverse fixture, and from our perspective, what did you make of us, and what have you made of us, Northampton, throughout the season so far?
Well, you had you're pretty much is it Coyle, wasn't it? It was your chairman. He was pretty much old school type manager, probably a little bit what Sheridan was like now. Play a little bit of a hoofball, big men in midfield, fight and battle. You've done really well to make the playoffs. You've done really well to turn Cheltenham over. I was impressed by that. Pre-season, I think you left quite a lot of good players go, and I thought you might struggle because of that. But I think you've done okay this season. I think players like Danny Rose you got on are good. In terms of that game, I didn't think you needed to do a lot to go 2-0 up against us at the time. I think I think with your perspective, I thought it was a pretty okay performance without probably being at your best. And you probably shot yourself in the foot towards the end, which made yourself a little bit of wobble. You probably showed the weaknesses that's probably caused you to be where you are, and we showed our weaknesses to show where we are. Just having a really soft underbelly. I think it was like that. Really, from what I saw, wasn't the best of games, but I think we probably just about edged it.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I agree with that. To be fair, I think we were all right in that reverse fixture, but I think you guys were probably that bad. That probably played into our hands a little bit as well. And then ever since then, it's just been consistently inconsistent. And then we obviously sacked Keith Curl, and things have picked up a bit under John Brady as caretaker. I want to move on to looking more towards this game. Looking at the recent form, you guys have played 30 games this season, won 8, drawn 4, lost 18. And you've got 28 points, 19th. And obviously, we see how ridiculous that table is. We played the same amount of games, won 6, drawn 8, lost 16, and have 26 points, 4 positions separating us because we're in 23rd. It just shows how tight it is down there. We obviously drew 0-0 with Rochdale, lost 4-3 to the MK Dons, and then drew 0-0 with Ipswich before that. You guys got an impressive draw at Lincoln, which I'm sure Jake won't be too happy about. You beat Crewe 2-1 as well, who seem to be doing all right this season. And then obviously before that, you lost to Portsmouth, if you can remember that far back, by 2-0. So how's it been recently? Have things started to pick up with obviously those last 2 games against Crewe and Lincoln?
Yeah, well, so before Tuesday, I would have been really worried about today. I think that I was encouraged with Lincoln. We didn't look like a side that was struggling. I think we just looked like a mid-table team and somewhere that our players represented where they should be. But before that at Crewe, it was lucky. I think Crewe controlled large pockets of the game. We were quite defensive. We played 5 at the back and 3 midfield. We didn't do that against Lincoln. We let Crewe come at us, and we tried to play. We basically tried to play at the counter like the away team, because Crewe were excellent on the ball and they created plenty of chances. And we had our keeper to thank to keep us in the game. They missed a few chances, and then we just really sucker punched them in injury time. If I was a Crewe fan, I'd been gutted. So the performance wasn't particularly brilliant. However, it was against Lincoln. It was good. It was enough to beat a lot of teams. Lincoln will say they weren't at their best, but they did have pockets where they did look pretty good. It probably wasn't their worst performance this season. So, I'll take it. It's encouraging, and hopefully the players will bring the confidence of bringing that on till Saturday. However, we can't string set results together at all, and when we have performed, the following performance has been awful. So there's always that, and I wouldn't surprise me at all if any result tomorrow on Saturday, we could win, lose, or draw with us. It could go anyway.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be one of those relegation 6-pointers, isn't it? I want to talk about the danger men that you guys have in your squad. One of my dad's kind of work colleagues or somebody who works with is a Swindon fan, and he sent me an email today saying that you've got your 4th centre back out for a long-term injury, and he said he feels nervous because you're down to about 12 fit players. I picked out 6 here. There's one in particular I want to talk about that you guys took off us in January, so we'll hold fire on that for just a minute. You're probably going to say that these are all injured, so I've got Jack Payne written down, Brett Pittman, who I think is injured, Tyler Smith, Hallam Hope, and then Matt Palmer. So put me out of my misery. Tell me that they're all injured.
No, the only one that is injured, which could be back actually, is Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, actually, he was the one that rounded your keeper, then fluffed it at your place. Right, yeah. No, he's that one. He's all right. He's energetic. He's got a bit of pace about him, but he's fallen out of favour a little bit. Brett played and scored the other day. He's not the same player that was at Portsmouth banging in those sort of goals, but he's still dangerous. His mobility, he's not really that mobile, but he's got an eye for goal. He should have scored. He hit the bar on Tuesday when put through. He should have had a couple, but he did get one. So he could be quite good. Jack, sorry, who else? Mr. Lugo. Who was the other people that you mentioned again? There,
Jack Payne, Pittman, Hallam Hope as well.
Yeah, hello, hope. Jack Payne. Jack Payne is a live wire who comes in and out of games, very skillful players. But he probably didn't mention as well, Jordan Carrick, we recently picked up on loan, who's a winger from Cardiff, who had his best game on Tuesday. Jake will mention that he scored the first goal. He set the second one up as well. He is very quick. Cardiff don't play wingers. The reason their press guy said he's not getting a game there is because they don't play wingers. However, he's not been that great until Tuesday, where he was really good, but then he was played in his position, something Sheridan doesn't usually do, is play players in their actual position. Another one is Scotty Twine. Scotty Twine was on loan with Newport. He's one of our own youngsters, and he was the best player at League Two the first part of the season. I think he created 23 chances and scored 5 goals from outside the box for Newport at the beginning of the season. He scored an absolute weldy against Ipswich, but it's fallen out of favour a little bit, probably because of the football that Sheridan played, but came back in on Tuesday and probably looked our biggest threat. Matty Palmer's all right. Again, he's fit, he's fine. He comes and goes. He's a bit inconsistent. Can pass the ball all right, scores the odd goal, but I wouldn't say he's one of our major threats. And Helen Hope, again, he's an experienced player in lower leagues, scores a spectacular goal, drifts in and out of games. I would imagine he'll be on the bench again. He scores important goals, but doesn't do a lot else. He's got a bit of a strike on him. Big player. Yeah, it's not that much you can say about him, really. But yeah, no, they're all fit. And Jordan Lyndon might be back as well, the one that scored against you last season, the midfielder. Scored the winner away from home. He's a key player as well. Midfielder, pulls the string, great little pass for the ball, but forever injured. He might be back. I don't know for definite, but they said that he might be back in the reckoning for the weekend. So we'll see with that one. So hopefully he'll be on the bench or so at least. But
and then
he's another one to watch out for.
Yeah, and then the last man that I wanted to touch on was obviously the guy you nabbed off us in January. Obviously, it seemed a bit pointless. We signed Christopher Misselou in the summer. He was our first signing of the season. And then he looked really good. He looked like kind of a bit like, I don't know, a bit like a Kante, sort of doing the hard work. You know, he seemed to run everywhere and get stuck in with everything. And then he really faded off and dropped out the team. We never really saw him again. Then he obviously ended up with you guys. And I saw he was in the League One team of the week a couple of weeks ago. So how's he been settling in at Swindon?
Yeah. You know, you're probably going to say get to a thing. He works hard, runs off. He is a battler. He'll try and win the ball back and pass it to a red shirt, and he does that pretty well. He's got an eye for a pass. We haven't seen that much of him. He's all right. I think he's been to come in to sort of replace Anthony Grant a little bit, which is a shame because Anthony Grant is one of our favourite players who seems to have fallen off the edge of a cliff recently. So I don't know if there's something happening behind the scenes. Apparently, he suffered a concussion about 3 weeks ago, and we've not seen him since. So I don't know what is going on there at all. But he looks a good player. He's not one of our best. He's not someone that I'll pick up to have a great game. He didn't actually play on Tuesday. I thought he would do because he's that defensive midfielder. We thought that would probably be quite useful against Lincoln, but we went with Scotty Twine, was a bit more attacking. So I think he'll probably be on the bench again. He might play ahead of Matty Palmer on Saturday because I hope we play Twine. So he's been all right. He's, as I say, I think lower half of League One is his level. He's not spectacular, but he works hard and keeps the team ticking and the ball ticking over. So he's all right.
Good stuff. So yeah, we're coming on to the kind of the final bit now. As I mentioned, my dad works with a guy that supports Swindon. He just sent me an email. Just going to kind of read what he says and says it's a must-win game for both teams really after the last 7 days or so. Swindon were really unlucky not to beat Lincoln on Tuesday night. We now have a full centre-back out long-term injured. So he's really nervous about having about 12 fit players. You can see a mucky 0-0 or a 1-0 either way. We shall see. What are your thoughts? What kind of game are you expecting? And then we'll finish up with a score prediction from it.
As I say, it could go either way. If it goes like Lincoln, I'm quite positive about it, but I don't think it will. the pessimist inside me, the deep pessimist, and every time I predicted us to do well, we've done badly. So I'm going to go with this pessimist to say that it will be quite a disjointed game. I think I think nerves will probably get the best of both teams. I don't think Swindon will click into gear as we've done on most of our home games this season, and I think you'll score a goal that should be easily defendable, and you might pull off a 1-0 away win. That's the pessimist inside me, and that's how I think it might go. And if you ask a lot of Swindon fans who have basically had enough, think it probably will go under Sheridan. You know, they've teased us with a great performance, showing us what they can do on Tuesday. So I can imagine they'll probably be awful and true to form on Saturday, which will be, you know, down like music to your ears. So I think it might go that way. You know, I've talked them up a little bit this evening, so I think I'm going 1-0 away win.
Wonderful. Well, thanks very much for coming on. Let's hope it is a 1-0 away win. Hopefully it's not the same circumstances as last year. If you remember that Andy Williams' goal that was about 400 years offside.
I was sitting, I'm almost like next to the lines at the time, and like I saw Andy Williams in this offside, and he put the ball in it. I thought he was just kicking the ball away.
Yeah. and then no flag goes up.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm sure it's a bit more explicit than that.
Just as surprised as everyone else did, but yeah, we went mental, absolutely mental at that. I think okay, Richie Wellens got himself a bit of hot water with the ref after that as well. We'd storming up to it at full time, getting mouthing off. But yeah, that was a frustrating result.
Yeah,
in the end, it worked out both of us, and he made the playoffs off the back of that. So,
yeah, fair enough. All good. Well, I suppose we all know about EFL referees, don't we? So we'll not get into that discussion now. But yeah, it's been brilliant having you on. Thanks very much for coming on, Ben. Really appreciate your time as well. Care.
Good luck.
No worries. Thank you. Cool. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much everything from Ben. Thanks to Ben for coming on. Just a message going along the bottom there. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. We've got Luke NTFC, Jason Rodhouse, Adam Page, and Mike Fuller. If you want to support us on Patreon, help us improve the quality of content. We want to get kind of a StreamYard subscription as well, so we can make the streams even better for you guys as well. So if you want to hit that below, then feel free to. You don't have to. The video is still free for you all to watch on YouTube. So yeah, that's that little message out the way. Thanks again to Ben for coming on, and thanks to everyone that's tuned in. Please make sure I don't know if you can see that, there we go, you leave a like on the stream if you haven't already, and if you're watching it back as a video, to drop a like as well. So yeah, thanks very much to everyone for tuning in. Thanks to Ben, and until next time, we will see you later. Bye bye.